but it was a fish. I reckon 15 or 16 pound, lovely looking fish, very wide, and it's just come off. It's gin clear water, so it's 1-0 to that carp, but I'll come back and catch him another day. Now that's a sound you don't hear too often. Well, I certainly don't anyway. That's my reel just spinning off there. No buzzers, just there nice and quiet, not drawing attention, and we're in. What we're going to do now is just tighten that front drag up a bit. With a bit of luck, we might get this one in the net. Well, that took about 20-30 yards of line off, and it's such a great feeling, isn't it, picking up. You don't know how big it is. There's a lot of weed out there, but so I don't get into trouble with my other rods. What I normally do now is I'm just going to pop these off the rests and just drop them off the runners. If I get a bite, I'll still know about it because I hear the reels going, but that just keeps the line nice and flat, and I can play this fish over the top of there without getting, as they call it, wiped out, which is not a pleasant experience. I've had a couple of rods tangled up in the past, but it's best to try and avoid it. Again, on the pop-up, pop-ups seem to be working a lot more these days than they used to, and I would have to say that I used to be a big bottom bait fan and just nailing it on the deck, but certainly the pop-up's making a big impression on my carp angling at the moment. I think it's cyclical anyway, it comes and goes, but just the presentation of the bait being off the deck by about an inch or so, I think just cons those carp that are a bit riggy. And we've managed to put several carp on the bank, not one on the bottom bait. Of course the bottom bait's going in there as loose feed. Again, another little topple, almost an instant response, and interestingly enough, it's always been on the side rod. I've not had a rod. This is typical. You can imagine you're fishing a match and you're sat right in the middle of a load of match anglers, you have the top end peg or the end peg at the bottom, and you've got a lot more chance of fish running towards you, and that's why end pegs are normally better. And if you just see your 3 rods as being pegs, and then 2 pegs generally are the most productive. I'm just applying a nice even pressure to this fish. It's going to be probably a double at worst, but you can never tell sometimes till you've got it right under the rod top. Loosen that drag off a bit there because that's a nice sound, but I'm actually using a drag. I'm not backwinding on this at all. Rod's out of the way. I can just slip this one over the net, and hopefully this one will come up. You can see that yellow pop-up boiling nicely sticking outside of its top lip.